Hello my dear students and welcome to Zenith Academy Online. My name is Shagufta Jaipuri and we are on part 6 of the chapter Chemical Calculations for GCSE year 11, and in this video module we will be talking about expressing concentrations. Now in this module we learn what are dilute and concentrated solutions. What do you mean by the term concentration and how to express concentration of solutions in grams per decimeter cube. How the mass of the solute and the volume of solution is related to the concentration of the solution, and what are the factors that will affect the concentration of a solution. So let's get started. Here you can see I have kept 5 different glasses of water in which I have mixed different quantities of squash, rose squash or rose syrup. Here you can see I have added very less rose syrup, here I have added little more, and here I have added the most quantity of rose syrup. So this glass in which the syrup is very less whereas water is more is known as diluted, okay, because I have added more water, and this in which there is more of rose syrup and less of water is called concentrated. Now let's go in detail in what are diluted and what are concentrated solution. I hope you must have got a slight idea of it already. Now here if you see, now if this red one is the atoms of the rose syrup, these blue ones are the atoms of water. Here you can see that the atoms of rose syrup are less crowded, they are less in number, whereas here you can see they are more crowded, they are more in number. So if we say that these are solute molecules, what is solute? Which is added to a larger quantity, and the larger quantity is of water, so water is solvent. So if we take a glass of water, if this is water, and we add some syrup, okay, some small amount of syrup, then this syrup is a solute because it is added in less quantity, and which was more in quantity, water. So this is known as solvent, and both of them together, if I have mixed it, this is known as a solution. So the solution in which the solute is less is known as a dilute solution, and here in which the solid particles are more is known as a concentrated solution. So here is another example. Here you can see I have taken 2 beakers. In one I have added a little bit of salt, in another one I have added a lot of salt to water. So here the solvent is water in both the cases. Okay. The solvent is water. Here you can see the crystals of salt that I have added is known as solute because it is added in lesser quantity. So when solute is added to solvent, it forms a solution, right? And you can see here that this is a dilute solution because less amount of solute is there, and this is a concentrated solution because more amount of salt is added to it. So I hope the concept of dilute and concentrated is very clear to you. So let's revise. A dilute solution is one that has relatively small amount of dissolved solute, and a concentrated solution is one that has relatively large amount of dissolved solute. So a solution forms when a solute dissolves in a solvent. So whenever there is a solvent and a solute is added to it and it gets dissolved, then it forms a solution. Now the concentration of a solution is a measure of, what is concentration a measure of? It is a measure of how crowded the solute particles are. If there are more if they are more crowded, then it is known as a concentrated solution. If they are less crowded, if they are less in number, it is known as a dilute solution. So the more concentrated the solution, the more particles it contains in a given volume, right? So which one is said to be more concentrated? If it contains more number of particles in a given volume. So how can we define the term concentration? The concentration of a solution is a measure of the amount of solute that has been dissolved in a given amount of solvent or solution. So concentration can be defined in terms of solvent and in terms of solution also, but for GCSE curriculum we will be talking about only solution. So how we will define concentration? The concentration of a solution is a measure of amount of solute particles that has been dissolved in a given amount of solution. So now let's see how to calculate concentration. Now there are many ways of calculating concentration and expressing concentration. For GCSE year 11, we have to talk about concentration in grams per decimeter cube only. So we'll only deal with this formula, that concentration in grams per decimeter cube is mass of the solute. Solute is the one which was dissolved in it, in grams. So mass of solute in grams divided by volume of solution in decimeter cube. You have to remember it very carefully. This is mass of solute in grams, and this is volume of what? Not solvent, volume of solution in decimeter cube. So the unit will become gram per decimeter cube. Now this can also be written as gram. Okay. Now if I write a superscript of -3, it also means the same, gram per decimeter cube, right? Now let's see how do the chemists calculate this. Okay, so we have to take some solute. So first here the amount of solute is weighed out on an analytical balance. Then now suppose we have to make the solution of 500 ml. So we will take the standard measuring flask of 500 ml. Okay, we will add the solute, we will add the weighed amount of solute in it, and then we'll keep on adding the solvent. Okay, we'll keep on adding the solvent till it reaches the 500 mark. Okay, now here you have to be sure, see, if this is the neck of the measuring flask, okay, and this is your liquid, okay, your solution. So you have to make sure that whenever it is like this, where we have to take the reading, not here, this is wrong, we have to take the reading from the lower meniscus. Okay, so if this is the curve, okay, this is known as lower meniscus, lower meniscus, and this is known as upper meniscus. So we have added the solute, then we add a small amount of solvent first and mix, and then keep on adding the solvent, till it reaches the mark. Okay, and now our solution is 500 ml, or we can say 500 centimeter cube. But for our studies we will not use centimeter cube or milliliter, we need it in decimeter cube. Now let's see how to do that. So the apparatus used to measure volumes is usually marked in centimeter cube or milliliter. So if you go to your lab and see the apparatus, most of it will be marked as milliliter or liter. So milliliter is equal to centimeter cube, but for our calculations we don't need in centimeter cube or milliliter, we need in decimeter cube. So first let us talk about centimeter cube or milliliter. Now although these are different units, centimeter cube and milliliter seem to be different, but they describe the same volume. Okay, For example, if I talk about 250 ml, it is same as 250 centimeter cube. So milliliter or centimeter cube is same, I already told you, but the volumes used in concentration calculations must be in decimeter cube, not in centimeter cube or milliliter. So this is the formula we already studied, but you should know that 1 decimeter cube is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. Okay. So in your question, if they tell you to find the concentration in gram per decimeter cube and they have given the mass of solute in grams and the volume of solution in decimeter cube, then you will use this formula. But in case they have given the volume of the solution in centimeter cube, then what you will do? In the same formula, the concentration in grams per decimeter cube is equal to mass of solute in grams. Here instead of decimeter cube, you will write in centimeter cube, but you will divide by 1000, that is multiply with 1000 on the numerator side. So you should know 1 decimeter cube is 1000 centimeter cube. So you have to divide by 1000 to convert from centimeter to decimeter cube. So what you can do, either substitute in this formula and do, or it is advised to convert from centimeter cube to decimeter cube. For example, if you have given 120 centimeter cube is the volume of the solution, then what you will do in the very first step, you will convert it into decimeter cube. How will you convert into decimeter cube? 120 divide by 1000. Okay, so there are 3 zeros, so just jump 1, 2 and 3. So it becomes 0.12 decimeter cube, and then directly put in this formula, or you just write here 120 and multiply it with 1000 like this. Okay, so remember this 1 decimeter cube is 1000 centimeter cube, because most of the time in laboratories the volume of the solutions are found in ml, and ml is nothing but centimeter cube. So you need to convert it first into decimeter cube for finding the concentration in grams per decimeter cube. Okay, so you should remember to divide by 1000 to convert from centimeter cube to decimeter cube, or from milliliter to decimeter cube. So if it is 120 milliliter, it is same as 120 centimeter cube. So I hope you have understood both the formulas. Basically you have to learn only this formula. Now let us solve this question. 8 gram of sodium hydroxide is dissolved in 2 decimeter cube of water. So the solute is 8 gram and the volume of solution is given 2 decimeter cube of water. Calculate the concentration of the sodium hydroxide solution formed. So we know the formula, concentration in gram per decimeter cube is mass of the solute in grams upon volume of the solution in decimeter cube. So we know mass of the solute in grams is 8 grams and volume of the solution is 2 decimeter cube. So the answer will be 4 gram per decimeter cube, or you can write it like this, 4 gram per decimeter cube. So the concentration is 4 gram per decimeter cube. In year 11 only simple questions like this will be asked. Now the next question, 100 centimeter cube of dilute hydrochloric acid contains, so dilute hydrochloric acid is the solution, and how much and what is the volume of it? 100 centimeter cube. It contains 0.5 gram of dissolved hydrogen chloride. So the solute is 0.5 gram. Calculate the concentration of the acid in gram per decimeter cube. You will always be asked to find in gram per decimeter cube. So read the question very carefully. They have asked in gram per decimeter cube, but they have given the volume in centimeter cube. So we will apply this formula. So mass of solute in grams is how much? 0.5. So we will write 0.5 here. Then volume of solution in decimeter cube. Now it is 100 centimeter cube. We have to convert it into decimeter cube. So we will divide by 1000. So 100 divided by 1000, right, will give you 0.1 decimeter cube. So we will write 0.1 here. So this is in grams and this is in decimeter cube. So 0.5 upon 0.1 becomes 5 gram per decimeter cube, or we can say 5 gram per decimeter cube, right? Now let us see how you can calculate the mass of the solute. This is very easy. We already know the formula of concentration in gram per decimeter cube is mass of the solute in gram upon volume of solution in decimeter cube. Now if we want to find out this, what we will do, we will take this to this side and multiply it. So mass of the solute in grams is this multiplied by this. So concentration in gram per decimeter cube multiplied by volume in decimeter cube. So let us see a question. A solution of sodium chloride has a concentration of 10 gram per decimeter cube. So concentration is already given. What mass? So they have asked the mass of the solute, mass of sodium chloride is dissolved in 2 decimeter cube of the solution. They have given volume also. Okay. So we know mass of the solute in grams is equal to concentration into volume. So what is concentration? 10 gram per decimeter cube. So we will write 10 here. Okay. So 10 gram we will write like this so that it becomes easier for you to understand the units. So 10 gram per decimeter cube into volume in decimeter cube. What is the volume? 2 decimeter cube. So I will write 2 decimeter cube here. Okay. So decimeter cube gets cancelled and we get the answer in grams. So the answer is 20 grams. I hope you have understood how mass and volume are related to the concentration. Concentration is directly proportional to mass of solute. So more the mass of solute, more will be the concentration since it is directly proportional. So if this is more, this will also be more. Now concentration is inversely proportional. How do we write inversely proportional? Not like this. We write it like this, inversely proportional. Okay, it is inversely proportional to volume of the solution. So if the volume of solution is less, the concentration is more, and vice versa. If the volume of solution is more, concentration is less. So this is how mass and volume are related to concentration. Now let us see what are the factors affecting the concentration of solution. Just now we studied that concentration is directly proportional to mass of solute and concentration is inversely proportional to volume of solution, or we can say volume of solvent. Okay. So obviously concentration is depending on these two, mass of solute and volume of solution. So the first factor should be amount of solute. Concentration can be increased by dissolving more solute in a given volume of solution. So if we add more solute, the concentration will increase. This increases the mass of the solute and hence it will affect the concentration. Next is amount of solvent. So concentration can be increased, okay, by allowing some of the solvent to evaporate. So if we allow some of the solvent to evaporate, what will happen? The amount of solvent will become less. So this decreases the volume of the solution, and I told you that concentration is inversely proportional to the volume of solution. So if volume of solution becomes less, concentration becomes more. So we can increase the concentration by allowing the solvent to evaporate. Then concentration can be decreased. How you can decrease the concentration? By adding more solvent. Add more of water to your rose syrup solution. So the concentration will decrease, it will become dilute. So these are the two factors which affect the concentration of a solution. The amount of solute and the amount of solvent. Remove the solvent by evaporating to make it concentrated, and add more of solvent to make the solution dilute. So this is how you can change the concentration of a given solution. So this was all about determining concentrations in gram per decimeter cube. If you have liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and write in the comment box. It motivates me to make more and more videos. And if you have any doubt, go back in the video and watch it 2 to 3 times to clear all your doubts. And if you have really liked our videos, then please subscribe to our channel. Press on the bell icon to get all the notifications of your GCSE chemistry and physics. If you are enjoying learning with us, please share these videos with all your classmates and keep the learning on. Thank you and have a beautiful day.